Hey y'all, it's Sean again. Today we're going to change what is called an axle trolley. Axle trolley on my ride is something that goes all along my inertia ring, which I'll show you here in a minute. See, we're here at the Fireball. Of course, this would be the train where the patrons would sit. It's pretty self-explanatory. You put the seatbelt in the seatbelt buckle. See where the seatbelt buckle is? Right there. Look. See? This is a secondary precaution, just in case my airlocks wouldn't lock. But as you can see, without the seatbelt, see it hanging there? Your lap bar don't open. It's called the Fireball, Ring of Fire, several different names it goes by. Alright, you see that red thing right there with the wheels on it? See where the wheel is, where my finger's pointing? That whole thing right there? That's what I'll be changing today. I've got a telescope, which I'll show you here in a minute when I get back down on the ground. At this point in time, I'm about 10 feet in the air. My complete ride is 65 feet in the air, and I have to climb all the way up there each week, twice a week, sometimes more, depending on what I gotta do. But that solid piece where you don't see any holes, there's two hooks up there. One gigantic one that's done by hydraulics. Takes about 40 seconds for the hydraulics to push the hook out and pull it back in. The other set of hooks is a secondary feature to keep it from actually slamming open, just in case that hydraulic hook had failed. There's a lot of secondary features on this ride, but axle trolleys don't actually have one. Now, here is your standard telescope. Alright? The telescope actually just fucking keeps the wheels separated. It's more along of a spacer. But here's the actual piece, one that we will be changing today. Notice there's a nice little cotter pin in there. I've already taken the liberty of taking the one spot off. I'll also be changing a wheel, which of course, as you can see, this is a wheel, and this is the one that I'll need to be changing because it doesn't spin very well. It's just bullshit. I had bearings come out. See, there's one of them. They fell out all over the ground as I took it apart. But we'll get started on this here in a second. Like I said in my previous video, there's a lot of bullshit that needs to be done on this ride on a daily. Not necessarily telescopes and wheels and axle trolleys and shit, but there's other shit that needs to be done on this ride. The people before me fucked it up. I'm constantly cleaning it, getting grease and oil and shit off the motherfucker. But I'll be using, my standard tools will be a 1/2 inch. A 1.5 inch for the big nuts if I need it. But mainly it'll be just a 1/2 inch because with the castle nuts, let me show you. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there's a little hole right here where my cotter pin will go. With the castle nut, cotter pin just goes in there, goes all the way through this little axle to the opposite side, and it'll hold the bolt in. So necessarily all I have to do is get it to where I can put the actual cotter pin in. I'm gonna video me changing it and explain what I'm doing as I do it. That way you could actually see. As you see, I'm turning the castle nut off at this point in time. Yeah, I've gotten kind of good at this to where I can do it with one finger. There goes the castle nut. Alright, this one has a washer in it. 90% of the time I don't put a fucking washer in them because washers just get in my fucking way whenever I go to take it apart. As you see, here's where it would be for all my little bearings. See, you can see the little rust ball circles from where the bearings were in it. It's kind of fucked up, ain't it? Here's the bearing holder. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take my 1/2 inch, take these two lock bolts off, which will allow, as I'm talking, I'm pulling off my other spacer and my teardrop, which is also to help hold the axle trolley on. So let's get to work, y'all. Yeah, that's my one of the gens in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, where you'll be able to see it. Let's see if this will be better. Alright. So, standard 1/2 inch ratchet with a 1/2 inch, or 3/4 inch ratchet with a 1/2 inch socket on the end. What you'll do is you'll take your 1/2 inch, there's a lock nut on each one of these, and this one seems to be stuck, but ain't nothing about it that can't be done. See, there went my lock nut. And of course I'm tightening, trying to be a dumbass. So let's change it over to loosening. I was using it for something else a few minutes ago before I started the video. There we go. The nut still seems to be good, not stripped, not anything, so we got this. I don't have to change out the lock bolt on that one. But then again, this one could be a different story. Seems like this one hasn't been changed in quite a while, so it's kind of giving me a little struggle. Or some dumbass, unsuspecting person fucking put thread lock on it. Same with this bolt, not fucked up, so I can... Alright, so you can see each bolt goes like so. Like so. What you do is you pull them out, and then you pull your telescope off. This is what your telescope's supposed to look like. There's two little prongs on this one, which is a good one. And then there's only one on this one. This is the one I just pulled off when I got in my hand. It's no longer good. We'll take it back and get it welded again to where we can have it looking like so again. But as you can see, here's your axle, here's your teardrop, here's a spacer in between the teardrop and the wheel. And what I'm gonna do real quick, so just in case I need to change my teardrops, I'm gonna check my swivel in here, make sure it's not cracked or anything, and I'm going to do the same with the next one, the other one too. If there's any cracks in it, it has to be changed. That way it doesn't shoot a wheel off. This one's good, which is the back side or the front side, whichever way you want to look at it. And it just slides back on the axle. Here's the second one. I changed one I think last week, and it had a crack all the way through this little piece here, all the way through to from the inside to the outside, and about halfway down, halfway through it. So of course I had to change it, and I got rid of it. No cracks, no gimmicks, no nothing. I'm just going to clean this one up and clean this up a little bit with a wire brush. That way I can see a little bit better. Of course, with all steel, it rusts after a certain amount of time of being in the rain and elements out here on the road. Yeah, we're out here at the Fireball, y'all. Learning how to change an axle trolley telescope. Of course, I do this almost on a weekly basis because I have to, not because I want to. It's part of my weekly and daily inspection. Look at all that rust coming off. You know, I sitting here doing this every week. I think, damn, I wish my brother was here helping me. Bubba, if you're watching this, dude, you would love it out here. So much fucking maintenance you could do, so much fucking mechanic work. It's just unreal about how much we actually have to do for maintenance work and mechanic work. You would be surprised, Bubba. I don't know if your old lady would like it though, Danny, but I know you would. And the reason I use a wire brush for this shit instead of like a Dremel with a wire wheel on it is because with a wire brush I can do it a lot more easier and see what I'm doing. With a Dremel it's fucking just a little bit harder for me. But yes, a Dremel would get it a lot better than a wire brush would. But it just needs to be a little bit cleaned. Not too much. I'm going to go ahead and check both my wheels. My wheel on this one. Make sure it's good to go. Still rolls freely, which is a good thing. No bearings showing, no nothing showing, so I can go ahead and start putting this back together. Alright, once again we're putting a telescope on. And it looks like she wants to fight. Well, that could explain it. Last motherfucker decided to just break off a bolt in it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but look down in there, you'll see the clean bolt, which lock bolt is what it is. Same thing as that. That's a different one, which ain't supposed to be there, but it worked. Let's try going in from the other side, which it really doesn't matter which way you do it. Alright. As you can tell, the axle trolley is on, and of course, fuck my life. Always some form of fucking bullshit that somebody does. Let me go find the actual wrench that fits that real quick. Oh. Five sixteenths. Really? Fucking jackass. We have spare bolt lock bolts on this ride all galore, and they use one of these. The fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? Before I put this bolt back in, I'm gonna put anti-seize on it. That way it doesn't seize up on me for the next time I have to change it. This is an awesome little compound that somebody has left on the ride at some point. At some point in time, somebody's left it. Or used it. Which it's an awesome little gadget because it keeps my shit from fucking seizing. I try and do all my bolts with it. That way none of my shit actually seizes up on me. Yeah, same. I got a dual one that way just in case I needed it. Lock nut to keep my positioner bolt in. Alright, it's time for me to find a fucking wheel because I didn't even know until I took it apart that we were gonna have a problem with this fucking wheel. Just checking to see if I've got a good wheel real quick. Which looks like I do, but it's a different formal wheel than what I'm supposed to use on my train. Huh. And fuck my life. Once again, fucking the previous ride operator fucks me over. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this wheel that I found. Standard wheel for an axle trolley. And this is a train wheel. Which if you'll look, see that big old red part up in there. See all those white wheels? White wheel. These are all my parts for wheels and horse shit. Let's see if we can get this wheel on. If we can, oh, I'll be a fucking amazed. Alright, so it goes. Yet, again, my spacer needs to be wire brushed. Another reason why I'm wire brushing it is because I don't have my Dremel out here with me. I was just going through my fucking ride, making sure shit's legit. Before we open at 6 today. It's the 24th. Oh, by the way, Mom, thank you for the birthday video that you never sent. Jackass. I love you too, anyway. I know you get busy at home, doing whatever, going to school, and all that shit. So, I'm not really tripping. I know you love me. I know that you're dealing with a lot with Dad. And then Danny had his baptismal. Oh yeah, by the way, Danny, congratulations. Welcome to the family with Christendom. And if your old lady's watching, man, thank you for changing my brother. My brother, like watch my previous video, not the one with my sister, but the one that I just posted a couple hours, not even a couple hours ago. You'll understand why I'm thanking you for changing him, if you actually watch it. Of course, my wire brush is old. Look at that shit. Looks like it's been on drugs. Alright, it goes spacer first, then it goes my teardrop. And do I really need to explain why it's called a teardrop? Well, for those of you that don't know why it's called a teardrop, it's because it looks like a fucking teardrop, you dumbass. Then it goes your wheel. Let's see if I can. Ah, yes. And of course, fuck my life. Still got a little bit of room left in this motherfucker, so I gotta fucking fix it. You never know if your shit's good enough until the last fucking minute. We'll put my castle nut on the end of it, that way I can beat it down some. We'll step away from the camera so I can do it. What I'm doing is, you see that little lip right there? I don't know if you can see it. That little lip, it actually needs to touch the end of the teardrop like so. See? There's not supposed to be that much fucking play in it. So I gotta beat it down a little bit more. So I'm gonna step away from the camera. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna turn it towards where I'm going, which is right over here by my outrigger. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I know, don't scare you like that, huh? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and fully coat this bolt and nut with some anti-seize lubricant real quick. That way I can make sure that I'm good. Oh good, it's starting to get windy out, which means we're going to get some more rain today, y'all. Yay, I'm so happy for the fucking rain. Not even. But you know what? That's one reason why I became a ride guy. Because rain, sleet, or shine, whether people come out to the midway, whether they don't, I still get paid. Whereas, if I was a game person, or anything like that, they don't get paid if they don't make no money. They're on commission. I'm on salary. So is there any wonder why I decided to become a ride guy? Commission versus salary? Yeah, granted, here's the thing about me. I'm not that person that cares about what you know about me. I make $369 a week, just myself. Hannah makes about $350, depending on whether or not she works. Due to the fact that if she's pregnant, they take a day's pay from her each time she's out for a day. Even if it's freaking half a day. She's been getting nauseated a lot, and we can't have her out on a ride being nauseated because, of course, safety precautions for the kids and family. Like I said in my previous video, we're very safety conscientious for our customers and whatnot. But we got it fixed. Space no longer exists between the telescope and the teardrop, which the teardrop can still spin somewhat. But yeah, I decided it would be fun to go play in the mud the other day with the van when I had to go get a done. A root canal yesterday. Our van got stuck in the mud from all the rain and whatnot. So I had to go get a root canal done, go to the dentist, all workman's comp, because I did it fucking with a chain binder. If you don't know what a chain binder is, I'll show you in one of my other videos. I'll show you videos about what I gotta do on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, checking my ride each and every day. Oh, for those of you that don't know, that think you know whether or not our rides are safe or not, y'all know those places, those stationary amusement parks, right? You know all the rides there? They get inspected maybe once a year, once a month by the state that they are in. Our rides go through a weekly, or each time, better put, because there are spots that we do where we're there for a few weeks to a month, depending on the spot, depending on what's going on. Like here in a few weeks, we'll be down in Texas and New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Lubbock, Texas, for some spots that we got down there. But yeah. But we go through our inspections each time they we set up. Whereas your standard amusement park, once a month, maybe once a year. So imagine that, guys. Your little amusement park that you go to on a weekly fucking basis gets inspected maybe once a year. And usually they pay off the inspectors to go ahead and pass their inspections. We don't. Alright. That'll work. Of course it goes teardrop, spacer, and then my whale. And notice it spins about normal. Well, shit. Motherfucker. Once again, I'm gonna have to disappear from the video real quick to see if I can't figure out why I'm having such a fucking hellacious time getting this wheel back together, because it's not fitting to where I can put my Carter pin in. I'll show you the difference. I'll go ahead and put it back together so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, and it goes teardrop, spacer, tire. Then, see, it's the exact same on both sides. And if I'll turn it around, there you go, see? Except for this one. This one's the one that somebody decided it would be fun to break off. Alright. Let's see what we can show you. Alright. You'll see how much space is on that one right here. I gotta have at least that much space in order to, on this side. See? So maybe I'll have to find a different axle or something like that. But we'll see. Once again, I'm gonna go right over here to my outrigger. Let's see if we can point it to where I'll be. There, you can see me pretty well in any of that area. Alright. Let's see what we can get. Granted, I'm supposed to use a fucking hammer on this. But you know what? I ain't got the time to do it. I may have the time, but I don't have the time or the patience to go find a fucking hammer on my ride. Wait, I know where a hammer is. I'll go get it. Because I still got some beating to do, and I don't want to fuck up the only half-inch wrench I got. Ratchet. Alright, I'm back. Take a shitty wheel on top. Well, this is my underbody, y'all. Alright guys, we got it fixed. And it worked. Yeah.
got a couple days there. Don't kill it all now. You'll be bored.
I'm not. And all I did, guys, was reuse the fucking Carter pin because it doesn't really get any stress put on it. And there you go, reassembled.